Hello and welcome to Hello English Teacher. Today let's look at some extract based questions from the lesson A Letter to God from Class 10 English. If you're watching my video for the first time, please subscribe. You can listen to the explanations of chapters from classes 10, 11 and 12 English. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a video. Let's move on to the video now. So here are the extracts. Extract number 1. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height one could see the river and the field of ripe corn, dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a good downpour, or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing but see the sky towards the northeast. So let's look at the questions. Number 1. Based on the detail of the house's location, how can it be best described? Majestic, imposing, solitary, unique. So we know that this is the only house located in that valley. So the answer is C, solitary. So next question. The field of corn dotted with flowers means that not a single flower was bigger than the dot. The flowers were scattered across. The flowers were shaped like dots. The flowers had shrunk in size. So the answer is 2. The flowers were scattered across. So the corn flowers were scattered across the field. So let's look at the next question. Lencho wished for a downpour or a heavy shower. Pick the option that correctly lists the correct match for the kinds of rain. So you can see there are 2 columns here. Heavy rain, thunderstorm, drizzle, torrential rain and downpour, and the meanings of this. So light rain, very heavy rain, it's coming down quiet and strong, really heavy rain, is violent, short-lived, etc. So the best match here is, the answer here is 4. 1 is C, 2 is E, 3 is A, 4 is B and 5 is D. So let's look at the next question. It's a picture based question. Based on the given extract, what is Lencho not likely to think while looking at his field? So such a blessing, God, thank you. Just a downpour, God, and everything will be perfect. All set for the grand harvest. I'm going to be rich. I wish we have enough food to eat after this harvest. So he was hoping for a shower very badly and he was having faith only in God. So the only thing that he might not think is number 4. I wish we have enough food to eat after the harvest. So let's look at the next extract. It's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. I hope it passes quickly. It did not pass quickly. For an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm passed, he stood in the middle of the field. So the questions. Question number 1. How did the rain turn Lencho's hope into despair? Destroying his crops, demolishing his home, killing his family, none of these. So the answer is A, destroying his crops. So the hailstone that continued for an hour destroyed his crops completely. Okay, the next question. Choose the characteristic displayed by Lencho when he says, there is no one who can help us. Answers are desperate, anger, despair or sympathy. So the correct characteristic displayed by Lencho here is despair, which means complete loss or loss of hope. Next question. Which of the following word can replace in the middle of? Aside, amid, in spite, despite. So we know that the answer is 2, amid. Amid means in the middle of. So the next question. Which figure of speech has been used in I hope it passes quickly? Simile, metaphor, personification or alliteration. So here the answer is 3, number 3, personification, because it represents the rain or the thunderstorm which has been personified. So let's look at the next extract. He wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside, and still troubled went to town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing, but almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter," starting up a correspondence with God. So the questions. Question number 1. Lencho was still troubled because his problems had not been solved. He had not posted his letter. He did not trust the post office employees. He and his family were hungry. So here the answer is number 1. His problem had not been solved. So the next question. The word amiable does not mean the same as cordial, good natured, unsocial, friendly. So we are asking not similar to. So here the answer is number 3, unsocial. So next question. The postman was amused because on seeing Lencho's faith in God, as the letter was addressed to God, as Lencho had written a wrong address, as he did not know what to do with the letter. So the postman was amused because the letter was addressed to God. So the answer is 2. So next question. The postmaster was impressed on seeing the address on the envelope by Lencho's courage, by Lencho's faith in God, all of the above. So the postmaster was impressed by looking at Lencho's faith in God. So the answer is number 3. So let's look at the next extract. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily and showing him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing, but almost immediately he turned serious and tapping on the letter on his desk commented, "What a faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter," starting up a correspondence with God. So let's look at the questions. Question number 1. What made the postman laugh? A letter to mother, behavior of the postman, a letter to God, both 2 and 3. So here the answer is 3, a letter to God. This made the postman laugh. So let's look at the next question. What does the phrasal verb break out mean? Start abruptly, stop abruptly, speak abruptly, or sit silently. So the answer is number 1, start abruptly. So next question. What did the postmaster wish for? To have a joint venture with God, to have a collaboration with God in his business, to have a communication with God, to have the place of God. So the answer is number 3, to have a communication with God, just like Lencho. So next question. What does the word heartily mean? Wholeheartedly, friendly, slightly, or angrily. So heartily means wholeheartedly. So here's the next extract. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman who himself handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who had performed a good deed, looked on from his office. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money, such was his confidence, but he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. So let's look at the questions of this extract. Number 1. Why did the postmaster look contented? Seeing Lencho at the post office, a postman handed the letter to Lencho. He had been able to help Lencho, seeing Lencho's faith in God. So the postman looked contented because he had been able to help Lencho. So next question. Why was Lencho angry when he counted the money? The amount was less than he had asked. God had denied Lencho his request. His confidence was shaken. God had made a mistake. So he was angry because the amount was less than what he had asked for. He asked for 100 and he received only 70 pesos. That's why he was angry when he counted. So next question, which word does wrinkling not correspond to? So it is asking for not similar meanings. So pursue, scrunch, contract, crease. So the answer is number 1, pursue. All other words have similar meaning to wrinkle. So let's look at the next question. Choose the characteristic displayed by the postmaster when he decided not to shake Lencho's faith in God. Encouragement, goodness, liberality, sympathy. So the answer is B, or number 2, goodness. So let's look at the last extract. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. It said, God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reach me. Send me the rest since I need it very much, but don't send it to me through the mail because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Lencho. So the questions, what was the most likely response that the postmaster expected in Lencho's second letter? Sorrowful, gratitude, disappointment, elation, and shock. So here the answer is number 3, that is 2 and 4. He would have expected some gratitude and elation. Elation means extreme happiness from Lencho. So Lencho's letter included request for some money, description of the post office, belief of being looted, list of further demands. So the answer here is number 4, list of further demands. So let's look at the next question. Pick the most suitable quote for this extract. It is easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. You see a person's true colors when you are no longer beneficial to their life. True generosity means accepting ingratitude. So here the answer is number 4. True generosity means accepting ingratitude. So generosity means doing good without expecting good in return. So accepting ingratitude or thanklessness is also a part of true generosity. So here, who was generous? The postmaster was generous. He was ready to help Lencho, and even though he felt thanklessness from the part of Lencho. So I hope you liked today's video. For more interesting and informative videos, do subscribe to Hello English Teacher. Thank you for watching.